Welcome to the fairest show on television. First tonight from New York. Information is the weapon of our time, and the people in charge are the ones who control what information we are allowed to discuss. At least they want to control what information we're allowed to discuss. That is terrifying. And perhaps you could make an argument it is un-American. When America's elite gets scared of your information or your thoughts, they call you a racist. We started the show last night with that. But today we have another example. This time, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. testifying in front of Congress.
Anti-Semitism, racism, these are the most appalling, disgusting pejoratives, and they're applied to me to silence me.
Republicans invited RFK to talk about censorship by social media companies. Back during COVID, the information gods declared him a threat to public health and banned him. Democrats didn't really want to talk about that, nor did they want to discuss some of his views. They just really wanted to attack him.
Speaker McCarthy, Chairman Jordan affirmatively chose to give this a platform. They intentionally chose to elevate this rhetoric to give these harmful, dangerous views a platform in the halls of the United States Congress. That's endorsing that speech. That's not just supporting free speech. They have co-signed on idiotic, bigoted messaging. It's a conscious choice. There's no doubt as to why they're making the choice. It's not to guard free speech or to ensure equality for all.
Let's be fair. Robert Kennedy can be out there on a few issues. That doesn't necessarily always make him wrong. He's been right about a few things. It doesn't make him right either. He's been wrong about a lot. But it does make him threatening. And when America's elite gets scared or threatened, well, they ban you for disinformation, either before or after calling you a racist. Case in point, the treatment of Jason Aldean over his song, Try That in a Small Town.
Sucker punch somebody on a sidewalk, carjacking old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool, act a fool if you like, cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough? Well, try that in a small town, see how far you make it down the road.
Of course it isn't racist, nor does it inspire lynchings like some argue. But Aldean is threatening. We told you about that last night. The power of country music, and more specifically its fans, are threatening politically. If you missed last night's show, we have posted the entire monologue on Twitter at Leland Vittert. Listen to it. Tell us what you think in the comments section. More Aldean is coming up in the show a little bit later, but like Aldean and his fans, Robert F. Kennedy is threatening politically, very threatening politically, to Joe Biden. He's challenging President Biden in the Democratic presidential primary, even if he doesn't have a chance. The fact that he's at 20% or so in the polls can cause President Biden some real political headaches. Thus, other Democrats have labeled Kennedy racist and an anti-Semite.
Masks, including social distancing. It was not big brother government trying to exercise its will on an innocent population. It was public health measures to protect lives. Again, something should be celebrated. You're not here to propound your case for censorship. You are here for cynical reasons to be used politically by that side of the aisle to embarrass the current president of the United States, and you're an enabler in that effort today. And it brings shame on a storied name that I revere.
Kennedy was brought there by Republicans to testify about social media companies silencing him during COVID, which they did. They labeled his speech misinformation, and that's kind of become the catch-all. But we are learning over time that misinformation isn't necessarily factually incorrect speech. It's simply speech people disagree with, speech that important and powerful people disagree with, and that is somehow threatening to them. We know that because of all the things that had been labeled misinformation and censored and banned that turned out later to be true. The Hunter Biden laptop, problems with the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine that has now been pulled from the market, the Wuhan lab leak theory, which seems to be demonstrably true, certainly the effectiveness of masks. East Palestine water at one point was safe to drink, then it wasn't, now it still isn't. We could go on. It's important to remember that one person's disinformation is, well, another person's information. As we've learned, that which is labeled disinformation isn't always untrue, but labeling someone the purveyor of disinformation is almost worse than calling them a racist. In fact, racist speech is protected by the First Amendment. The current media power structure in Washington and New York argues disinformation shouldn't get constitutional protection. You heard the congressman say as much. To them, we are in a constant state of war, and disinformation is anti-patriotic, so it must be banned. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.